In this video, we're building a 100cc IMACC motorized bike kit. So we have a few mods to put on it, like an NT speed, remove the baffle and the exhaust, and 36 tooth rear sprocket. So let me send you back to a few days ago where we picked up this bike and started to build it up. We're gonna go ahead and open this box. We got Cole over here slaving away, changing his front tire.
Oh yeah.
All right, so this is the 100cc IMACC kit going on a new, well, used Roadmaster frame. So let's see. This is the first 100cc motor that I'm building, at least. Dang.
Got an iMac?
Yeah. IMACC 100cc. Let's see this line. Holy cow. Get the size of the exhaust port. That's not gonna fit.
Yeah.
That's not gonna fit my exhaust. Dang it. I already ordered one of the dirt bike exhausts for this thing, and that exhaust port is huge. It's not gonna fit. All right, but holy cow! Hopefully, she's gonna make more power than the 80s. So we'll have to test it out. We got a new frame going in over there, so that should be good. And there is the motor, and then it should be the same, just like the other IMACC stuff. Big gas tank, and a whole bunch of other jazz. Oh yeah, 44 tooth sprocket. We are putting a 36 on it because I like to sacrifice torque for speed. Zip ties. You didn't get zip ties in a drill bit with yours. Wonder what's gonna be different. Rag joint, oh, like a tool, and a socket. They give you a 10mm socket. Sweet. Uh-oh. Hold on. I'll be back. Alright, we back. Let's see what else we got. Clutch and other side of the handle. We got ignition, chain tensioner, chain. Yeah, I got the good chain tensioner. It's the 4-bolt with the diagonal. Carburetor, spark plug, throttle cable, spark plug. Ooh, they gave us a nice spark plug wrench. And the exhaust, which I already see. It's a bigger inlet. And yeah, at least with this, I'll take the baffle out of it and make it a little bit more performance and still stay kind of quiet. Show you how to do that. And this that we are throwing away. All right, sweet. Cole's tire is going good. And here's the frame of question we're putting this 100cc IMACC on. It is a Roadmaster Granite Peak 26-inch bike. They discontinued these things in like 2019, and they're so hard to find. Found this one for 20 bucks on Marketplace. Just a good luck thing, I guess. And yeah, she's gonna get a motor now. It's the same frame as this one, my daily bike. I wouldn't call it a daily bike, but it's a bike I ride a lot. And Cole's bike is also Roadmaster. He just took the stickers off, and it's that IMACC kit that we built. He just took the sticker off. So yeah, gonna go ahead and put this 100cc on this Roadmaster. Alrighty, so we got a new tire on because that old tire, I did not trust it. And so I'm going to be putting a 36 tooth sprocket instead of the 44 that comes with it. But if you're using the 44, there's this zip tie trick where you can get a couple zip ties, and see how there's a gap. You can put some zip ties in between the gap to center out that spacing so you don't have an off balance or off-centered sprocket. But for this one, it's a tighter gap, so I can't fit zip ties through there. So I'm just gonna have to bolt it up to that. And then, so these rag joint dudes, all you gotta do is get one and cut it in between one of the holes. and just cut that thing. And once you got that cut, it goes through here just like that. Then your sprocket goes. No, your sprocket doesn't go. The other rag joint piece goes, and then your sprocket. And normally your zip ties to align this to the center of the axle. And then we got to get the bolts in there. I already tightened down these bolts, but I'm going to go ahead and show you the orientation I put them. So I went the bolt, the sprocket, the rag joint, the spokes, the rag joint, the metal piece, then a lock washer, and then the nut. Once you got those bolts in and the nuts on, just go ahead and tighten this in a star pattern. And once you got them tight, you should line up your sprocket. It should look something like this.
That's what she said.
Alright. Now mine isn't going to be that straight because I don't have those zip ties in the center of the axle. And it's going to be off by a little, like by a hair. So it shouldn't be that bad, but honestly, those mags over there are a lot better because you can just bolt them on with these little holes right here. It's kind of like a disc brake, but you just bolt the sprocket on. It's a lot nicer. You don't have to use the rag joint, but for this case, I'm going to have to. Okay, rear tire on, sprocket is all good and on there. Chain's back on with the right normal chain. All we got to do now, I went ahead and started. Clear off this handlebar. We can get the clutch going. Go ahead and remove the front brakes because who needs those? And this is for the midsection derailleur. I'm gonna have to go ahead and cut that off, cut it off the chain and remove it because the only derailleur I'm gonna have on this bike is the rear one. So yeah, surprisingly, the shocks work. So thought I'd point that out. And yeah, I'll get you back when we get that done. Okay, now it's time to throw this motor on there. And she's just going to sit in there, hopefully. Just like that. Boom. Now I'm a little worried about that exhaust. Oh well. Yeah, it's gonna be close. It's gonna be close. Alright, I'll get you whenever I'm tightening the motor down. I'm not gonna fully tighten it just because I need some room for play with this and the carburetor. So yeah, I'll get you back in a sec. Okay, so motor is bolted in. I went ahead and just bolted it together because that's a future me problem. And I want to see if there's any grease on the bucking bar because that's very important that that thing is greased. And yeah, I don't want to have to keep replacing them because I mean they're cheap. They're only like maybe $6, but it's better to have a good one in there and keep it in there for longer than just keep replacing it, which is what I have been doing. And I can see there is some grease. They just threw a little blob on there. You can see they just threw a little blob. And there is, looks like none on the actual arm. So I'm going to go grab some grease, grease this up pretty good, and throw it back on there. So yeah, always check if there's grease on the bucking bar before you start doing more stuff and forgetting about it. So yeah, just get it done and you won't have to worry about it. Okay, you got the clutch cable, clutch handle. Go ahead and slide that on there. Go ahead and undo this contraption. And whoa, wants to shoot out at me. Here we go. Gonna go ahead and feed this. Oh, camera's falling. Feed this through here like that. And then boom. There she be. Then you can go ahead and mess with this any which way. Make sure it don't fall out. And there's your clutch. Okay, get your spring. Go ahead and put this on there. This spring just really acts as a heat shield. And go ahead and line it. Line this through the hole right there. And that side's good. Make sure you have the spring on the heatsink of the motor so that it don't get hot. Then this lead goes to the clutch arm. Might have to undo this screw a little bit and just put her in there. Just like that. And then you may have to adjust this later, but just that's how the clutch goes. Alright, check out the gap on the clutch. Barely anything, right? That's only because of the cable. It needs to be a little tighter. But on this, which I'm really bad at greasing the bucking bar, look at this. That's like the only clutch I get right here. And all of that is just slop. Yeah, and the cable's tight. So that means you got a bad bucking bar. And that bucking bar hasn't been greased, so it's just been eaten away. And yeah, that's why you need to grease your bucking bar. I always keep like 6 or 7 on hand just because I'm so bad at greasing them. But if you're really good at greasing them, you won't have to worry about that. So keep greasing them. Won't have to worry about it. All right, went ahead and got the exhaust kind of mounted up. It's just make sure that gasket's in the way or in between the motor and the muffler. Other than that, it's pretty simple. Just screw the header or the muffler right into the exhaust port on the engine. Just like that. I'll tighten that thing up later. Now let's go ahead and put that throttle cable in the carburetor. Alright, welcome to the floor where I like working. I don't know why, I just do. So go ahead and take this top out of the carburetor and reach your finger down in there. Grab out that cylinder. And that's what we need right there. So I'll go ahead and set this to the side. Now this part goes right into the throttle cable itself. We undo this. Now this goes into yonder, just like that. Can be a little bit of a pain, but shove her in there. The spring, get that down, and then this. Now make sure this little, y'all can see it right, is lined up where you can see the hole, like that. And then put the little cylinder in there. And then grab the other side of the cable and cinch it together. There we go. That's the cable. Now we can go ahead and slide this back into the cylinder, carburetor. There's a little pin on the bottom right here. That's where the side goes in. So line that up and just slide her in there. Just like that. And then tighten her down. Come on. It can be a little hard because of that spring, but once you get it in there, good. And just to make sure, you can take this filter off, which I will do. I'll catch you in a sec. Alright, now once the air filter is off, you can go ahead and look down here. And when you pull this, you should see daylight on the other side. Just like that. Carburetor's working. Let's go ahead and get that filter back on and throw this thing onto the bike. Alright, for the gas tank, all we have to do is put it on there. And I put some bubble wrap in between the gas tank and the frame, just to add a little bit of cushion so it's just not metal to metal. But I'm sure there's like pieces of rubber or something better you can put there. But I did bubble wrap because I had a lot of it in the box. So you grab these little doohickeys, little mounts, and then throw them right onto the gas tank, right under the threads. Woo. Grab a little washer and a lock washer, and then the nut, just like that. And then you tighten it down. Now you do the other side. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and start getting onto the throttle handle on that side, but they came with drill bits in this kit. Isn't that pretty cool? They came with drill bits, some tools, some terrible quality Phillips head screwdrivers, but yeah. So for this, we're going to have to go ahead and drill a hole right about here for the notch on the throttle handle dude. So yeah, going to go ahead and start getting a drill and drill a hole right there. Alrighty, once you got that going, go ahead and thread the bottom of the throttle cable from the carburetor into the little thing with the button on it for your kill switch. Grab the throttle handle itself and put that little barrel into the actual handle and slide it in there. There she goes. There's your throttle. Now you slide it onto the handle. There you go. And then cap it off. I did that backwards. There we go. Just like that. And then we'll screw it down. Man, this bike's so clean. Don't look at that. It's clean. Alright, as I was saying, I'm gonna go ahead and put this magneto on, or whatever the hell it's called. They gave us some hardware, but I don't want to use it because it's ugly and it'll scratch my sticker. So what I'm going to do instead is put this here and get me a zip tie. Put the zip tie through the hole on there, slide it through, and put it like this, where the hole in the other end of the zip tie is not coming through, and then turn it around and push it like that. And I'm going to get another zip tie, going to cut the end off, ruin a zip tie just like that, and then I'm going to put it on here. There we go. And just cinch it down. Y'all probably couldn't even see that. Cinch it down so it looks like that. I got a cut zip tie right here coming in from the other side of that zip tie. I did this on that other IMACC kit build and it seemed to be doing pretty good, so I'm going to do that. It won't scratch up my sticker and I get to keep it like that. So now it's time for some wiring. So we get the wiring from the spark plug dude. I still don't know what that one's called. Magneto? No, Magneto's in here. Whatever the hell it's called. And then you get the plugs from your engine. Plug them in from blue to blue, black to black, and you don't worry about this white one. That's for like accessories if you're gonna do like lights or something like that. And don't forget about your wire management because you do not want that wire hitting into this exhaust. That would not be good. So blue to blue, black to black. Come on, we got that. And then what's nice about these IMACC kits, they always give you, with the kill switch, they give you blue to blue and black to black, which is nice because some of those Chinese kits, I guess they're all Chinese, but I mean, you know what I mean. One of those all those cheaper kits give you like green to blue and stuff like that, which I guess this is nice because you don't have to guess. They'll give you like green and red. Switch, or they'll give you connectors like that, and it's not fun. So blue to blue, black to black on both wires. Now we got to go do some wire management with all this. Now let's go ahead and get this fuel system going. So grab your petcock. People were giving me crap about that in the other video for calling it a fuel on-off switch. Yeah, that was bad. And grab the little washer to put over it, for a rubber washer. I've forgotten that before, and gas will leak all over the floor, so don't forget that. Go ahead and push this into the gas tank. We might need to loosen up the gas tank a little bit to tighten this. All right, once we got that, go ahead and empty out your bag of junk. Grab the fuel line, and we're going to go ahead and start putting this over the nipple on the cock. Then push this around here. I could move this clutch cable, but I really like where it is because they give you a long cable. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this where I can put a fuel filter if I can find my wire cutters. I do not know where they went. I'm going to just guess. Cut it around here. Grab the fuel filter with the correct orientation. Find the little arrow. So fuel will be coming in this direction. Put that on there. Then grab the other side and put it on. And then onto the carburetor. So about there. Okay. And then there we go. Fuel system is set up. Now you gotta do the worst part, the chain. I hate this part, but it's gotta be done, and then we can fire it up. All right, now for the chain. What's cool about this chain is it came with the chain tensioner in the box with the engine, which is pretty freaking cool. And it means I don't have to get up and go get a chain tensioner. So that's sick. And as for the chain, all we gotta do is throw it on there. And I'm gonna go ahead and put the chain tensioner on first because I am known to forget that. So we'll go ahead and undo these bolts with the washers and all that. And go ahead and get this chain tensioner on. I might put a piece of bubble wrap over this because I like that sticker. I would hate to destroy it because on my other bike I destroyed that sticker on the with the chain tensioner. And yeah, I would like to keep it. So yeah. Now that that's ready to go, grab that. Go ahead and bolt it on. I think I'm going to put the bolts from behind. So a bolt, washer, the lock washer, and then the nut. Just like that on all 4 of the bolts. Alright, just breaking the chain. I was going to put some bubble wrap on that chain tensioner, but it kept moving, so took it off. Went ahead and measured the chain out. So it was like, ooh. Excuse me? Did y'all? What? It broke. Okay. Well, I guess the chain tensioner is just a one-time use. That came out of it. Alright, now we get the chain, line it up on there. Get the master link. It's not gonna go. I have to move the bike. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna put the chain up and then tighten this chain tensioner. Might be a little close to that sprocket, but it's okay. Alright, she is complete. Chain is on there. All looking good. Lined up. And I'm gonna go ahead and try to start it. It is pitch black outside. And I'm gonna try to get her run up here and then start it right here. We're gonna see if it'll start. I'll put a camera up or something, get an audio clip, this thing idling, and then tomorrow taking the baffle out of this exhaust, and then yeah, get a good riding video. Maybe not a riding video. I need to break this motor in and then start pushing some power out of it. So yeah, catch y'all in a sec. Here runs. Woo! Alright, quick update, even though I don't have my mic, even though it sucks sometimes. But this is the carburetor it came with, the kit. And as you can see, I cannot get that jet out for the life of me. I'm trying to jet this carb, and this isn't a NT speed. It's one of those, yeah, whatever the hell carburetors that is. This is another one I had on hand that I tried to take the jet out of, and it came out with a lot of force, but they do not use the same jets as the NT. So I would recommend buying an NT speed carb. This is just one I had on hand. I'm gonna go ahead and order another one that's not crusty. So yeah, I have a 65 jet in here. We'll go ahead and throw this on and see how it runs, because it was definitely 4-stroking up in the RPM. So we'll try this out. All right, boys, we've done about 40 to 50 miles on this thing so far, and she is doing great. As you can see, the chain has definitely loosened up a little bit. What else? I think the motor is pretty good in braking now. I've been giving it some RPM, and she's been loving it. And ever since I did the what do you call it, the little baffle removal in the exhaust, holy cow, this thing will pull up any hill I can find, especially with the 36 tooth sprocket. And my other bike over there with the 36 tooth sprocket can barely get up some hills. So I think it's the 100cc kit, because the other one's only an 80, this is 100, and same sprocket. That one over there has a better exhaust than this, and with this exhaust it's pulling better hills than the other one. So I think it's the 100cc kit along with the baffle removal and this exhaust. That combo is amazing. Like, it jolts you whenever you dump the clutch and you're at speed, and it literally gets up any hill I can find, at least around here. And that bolt rattled loose. This is the NT speed carb. It's better than that junky one it came with. I'm gonna go ahead and order a few of these. I like these better. Have jets for them, and yeah. And I think it did do a little bit better than the other one. So yeah, go ahead and cut that off. But yeah, I don't know what else you're gonna see in this video, but as of now, she's running great. So I'll see you in a few.